Have you ever spent hours studying, only to forget everything the next day? You sit there highlighting notes, rereading chapters, and convincing yourself you're learning, but when it's time to recall what you studied, your mind goes blank. It's frustrating, right? You worked hard, but it feels like your brain just didn't cooperate. Here's the truth: most people don't know how to learn. We were taught what to learn, but never how to learn effectively. The key to learning faster isn't about spending more hours. It's about using the hours you already have smarter. Let's talk about what actually works. Step 1. Stop passive learning. Most people read notes, underline, or listen to lectures thinking that repetition equals memory. But the brain doesn't remember what it sees repeatedly, it remembers what it uses repeatedly. If you only review information passively, your brain doesn't engage. It gets bored. It says, "I've seen this before," and moves on. To learn faster, you need to turn passive learning into active learning. That means doing something with what you just learned, not just reading it, but using it. Try closing your book after a section and asking yourself, "What did I just read? Can I explain it in my own words?" If you can, that's your brain telling you it hasn't learned it yet. Every time you try to recall something, even if you fail, your brain strengthens the connection. That's called active recall, and it's one of the most powerful learning tools in existence. Step 2. Test yourself often. Think of your brain like a muscle. When you lift weights, your muscles grow through resistance. They get stronger because they're challenged. Learning works the same way. When you test yourself, even if you get questions wrong, your brain works harder and remembers longer. Instead of rereading your notes 10 times, quiz yourself once. You'll retain more because your brain is actively pulling information out, not just soaking it in. If you're learning a language, test your vocabulary. If you're studying for an exam, make flashcards or practice problems. Don't fear mistakes. Every mistake is a learning repetition. Step 3. Space it out. No, here's another trick: don't cram. Space it out. Our brains forget things naturally over time. It's called the forgetting curve. But every time we review something just before we're about to forget it, we strengthen that memory. That's spaced repetition. You study something today, review it tomorrow, again in a few days, then next week. Each time, the memory becomes more stable, like adding another coat of paint. It's why apps like Anki or Quizlet work so well. But you don't need fancy software, just a simple schedule of reviews works too. Step 4. Focus like a laser. You can't learn faster if your attention is divided. Multitasking is the biggest myth in modern learning. When you try to study with your phone buzzing, music blasting, or notifications popping, your brain keeps switching gears, and every switch costs time and energy. Instead, focus deeply for short bursts. Try the Pomodoro technique to 25 minutes of total focus, then a 5-minute break. During that time, no distractions, no multitasking, just pure focus. Your brain enters a state of flow where learning becomes faster, deeper, and easier to recall later. Deep focus is like a superpower, and it's one you can train every day. Step 5. Teach what you learn. Finally, one of the fastest ways to learn is to teach. When you explain something in your own words, you identify what you truly understand and what you don't. It forces you to simplify complex ideas, and that's when real learning happens. You don't need an audience. Teach it to yourself, to a friend, or even to a camera. If you can explain it simply, you truly understand it. This method, called the Feynman technique, is used by scientists, teachers, and top students all over the world. Closing. So, if you want to learn anything faster, remember these 5 keys. Stop passive learning. Start using active recall. Test yourself often. Don't fear mistakes. Space out your study sessions. Focus deeply, without distractions. Teach what you learn. It's not about being a genius, it's about learning how to learn. Every skill, every subject, every goal becomes easier once you understand how your brain really works. You don't need to study harder, you just need to study smarter. And if you do that consistently, you'll be amazed at how